There are a ton of great Pokemon games out there, even when you ignore the main series. Pokemon Conquest, the trading card game, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon are all fantastic. And while these are all fun games, only one game created a fully realized world that actually made Pokemon feel real. And we will visit that game today when I read complete Pokemon Snap.
Well done.
Anyone who grew up in the 90s can tell you that Pokemon was the #1 topic on the playground. Life was all about battling, trading, and completing that Pokédex, which I did, by the way. And I was not afraid to let all my friends know about it. I was a Pokemon master. Because of the battling and gotta catch 'em all aspect of Pokemon, a lot of people were intimidated by Pokemon Red and Blue. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a requirement. You gotta do it. Wasn't there an easier way to get into the world of Pokemon without having to catch 151 creatures and battle your friends? Enter Pokemon Snap. Oh man, whenever I hear that intro, I immediately get a huge smile on my face. For me, Pokemon Snap was just as much of a playground staple as Red and Blue. I remember my parents taking me to a Blockbuster so I could go to the special kiosk and print out stickers of photos of the Pokemon that I took to prove to my friends that I actually took better pictures than them. God, I was kind of a jerk back then. The game itself is very simple. You take on the role of Todd Snap, and you travel around Pokemon Island to take photos and help Professor Oak with his research. You travel to each level and take photos of as many Pokemon in different poses as possible. The weird part is, Pokemon Snap wasn't even supposed to be a Pokemon game. It was just a regular photography game. However, the original team was stuck. How do they motivate consumers to buy a game about photography? What should they be taking photos of? Under the recommendation of Satoru Iwata, the team shifted gears and made all of the subjects Pokemon. While this upset the developers who had been working a lot on the artistic elements of the game, they soon realized it was for the best. Adding Pokemon clarified what the team should do and what direction the game should head in. Not only that, but the designers actually became Pokemon fans because of this. Once again, Pokemon brings people together. Not only that, but this is the first Pokemon game that came out on a console. This, not Pokemon Stadium, the battle simulator that used the same gameplay, but a complete genre shift that Pokemon never did before and would never visit again. And I wish they would. This game is a completely unique experience that you cannot experience anywhere else. Seriously, name another photography simulation game in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. Now, the couple of times that Pokemon Snap was featured on this channel, I was not the actual person completing the game. While I normally would be nervous about that, this is Pokemon Snap. It's an easy game that I completed and enjoyed when I was in elementary school. I'm just not gonna sweat it and take a nice, relaxing trip down memory lane with my good friend Todd.
Me?
Oh God, no. Ted, what are you doing in my house? Social distancing. Get out.
Oh, man.
Leave.
Ah, jeez. Okay.
Wonderful.
It's really easy to pass off Pokemon Snap as just a quick and easy kids game, but it is so much more than that. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Pokemon Snap creates the most fully realized world out of any of the Pokemon games. That's right, even some of the main series. Now, I know that's a bold claim to make. A lot of the main games feature a ton of lore and deep relationships between characters. But what Pokemon Snap lacks in story, it makes up in atmosphere. Each level is colorful and filled with a bunch of Pokemon running around and interacting with each other. Take, for example, the very first level, the beach. You start off with some Pidgey flying in front of you, when suddenly a Doduo jumps out and startles you. You continue to move forward, and a Pikachu greets you while Butterfree are flying in the sky. The Doduo keeps running at you, and you can see a Lapras breaching the ocean in the distance. All of this happens in a span of about 30 seconds. This type of action is happening constantly in every level of the game. Seeing Rapidash gallop past you, watching a coughing chase a Jigglypuff around a giant cave, or just seeing a Snorlax sleeping is fascinating to watch. It's kind of like that stream on YouTube of just two eagles nesting. That was literally on at the office all the time, and we loved every minute of it. You can actually still watch it right now. If you booted up any other Pokemon game at the time, you wouldn't get that. You'd either get a small sprite that looks nothing like the Pokemon on screen, or you'd get Pokemon Stadium where they do a cool animation and then stand still. In Pokemon Snap, you're seeing Pokemon in their natural environment being real creatures. All of these environments are enhanced by the incredible sound design. The Pokemon here don't make the usual beeps and boops you've heard in the Game Boy games. No, they roared and squawked and actually said their own names.
Squirtle, Squirtle.
And the music is incredible. Each perfectly matches their environment. The cave sounds mysterious and wondrous, while the valley sounds fun and adventurous. Each level is on a set track that you automatically progress on. While this may seem like it would hurt the game and make it feel formulaic, it actually makes it more natural. Because the game is on a set path, the developers were able to orchestrate different events that occur as you progress through each level. Each occurrence is more interesting than the last, and it makes the whole level feel real. You're not just playing a video game, you're on an island teeming with wildlife. Compare this to the wild area in Sword and Shield. While the wild area is impressive in its own right, it feels a lot less natural. The Pokemon don't interact with each other or the environment, and they pop in and out of the game depending on how far away you are from them. It feels more like a level in a game even though it's open-ended and you can go anywhere you please. Not only that, but you can't really interact with the Pokemon in the wild area. You walk up to them and you are thrusted into a stationary battle. Pokemon Snap gives you a ton of tools to interact with each Pokemon, and each one has a different effect. However, you don't get them all at once, so you have to revisit levels to see how these items work on different Pokemon. The three items you have to interact with the Pokemon are an apple, the Pester Ball, and the Flute. The apple can be used to hit Pokemon, but can also be used as food to feed them or lead them to different activities. So for instance, you can lead Pikachu to a surfboard and watch him hang 10, or you can throw an apple between two Magmar and watch them flamethrower each other. The Pester Ball is another thrown item that lets out a gas that pretty much knocks the Pokemon out. It's great for getting Pokemon to stop running around, like the coughing chasing the Jigglypuff, to knock Pokemon down from high places, like Graveler, or to get Pokemon to come out of hiding, like Porygon. Finally, there's the Flute. With it, you can play 3 different tunes that can cause Pokemon to dance around. This creates a ton of cool moments in getting a bunch of Charmander to march in unison, hatching Articuno from an egg, or to get that Snorlax to shake what his mama gave him.
I keep it juicy, juicy. I eat that lunch. She keep that booty, booty. She keep that plump.
You can also use these items to make Pokemon evolve. You can knock a Charmeleon into a lava pit with an apple to get it to evolve into Charizard. You can get a Magikarp to splash into a waterfall to have it evolve into Gyarados. Or hit a Grimer enough times with a Pester Ball and the noxious gas will evolve it into a Muck. This interactivity is astounding for a Pokemon game. While you only have 3 items to affect the world around you, you can do so much with them. Compare this to Hey You Pikachu. You literally can say anything to Pikachu, but there is no guarantee you're going to get it to do anything. Somehow, impossibly, Pikachu. Pokemon Snap keeps it simple, but then allows the game to be more imaginative with item applications. I've heard a lot of people call this game baby's first FPS because of the first-person perspective and having to zoom in and take shots of the Pokemon. But I don't think it's entirely accurate. Pokemon Snap is more like baby's first Myst. Now, for those of you who don't know, Myst is a classic game where you're trapped on an island with a first-person view, and you have to travel around the island by solving puzzles. This is also true of Pokemon Snap. In order to progress to other levels, you sometimes have to find secret entrances. For example, to get to the volcano level, you have to hit an electrode with an apple to make it self-destruct next to a wall of rocks. This all culminates at a penultimate level of the game. If you open up an alternate path, Professor Oak will tell you about 6 Pokemon signs that, once photographed, will lead you to the secret final level, Rainbow Cloud. Some are just sitting right in front of you, like Mount Doug Trio, but others require you to use your knowledge of the level layouts and items to discover them. Your final challenge in the game is the opportunity to take a photo of the rarest Pokemon of all time, Mew. Okay, Mew may not be the rarest Pokemon anymore, but you have to think about the time Pokemon Snap came out. The only way people knew about Mew was through rumors that you might be able to push a truck with strength. This was huge to young Gerard, and it's huge for older Gerard. I didn't expect myself to play Pokemon Snap and feel the exact same way I did when I was a kid. Even though I remember just about everything, Pokemon Snap gave me an incredible sense of discovery and still brought me tons of joy. The Pokemon franchise is full of a ton of games that are addicting and really emphasize playing with friends and collecting every Pokemon possible. But Pokemon Snap is the only game in the whole Pokemon universe that made me feel like I was actually there with the Pokemon in their natural habitat. Pokemon Snap isn't just a kid's photography game. It's the game that made Pokemon feel real.
Perfect.
So you photographed Mew and watched the end credits. Well, now what? Well, it's time to beat those challenge scores. Each level has its own challenge score that you can easily meet by taking multiple high-quality photos of different Pokemon. And when you finally beat all of these scores and photograph all 63 Pokemon in the game, you get another round of credits, but this time with all the photos you've taken instead of only a few. Okay, it's not much of a completion bonus, but at least it's something that acknowledges your hard work. Something magical happened when Nintendo released Pokemon Snap. HAL Laboratory didn't just create a fun photography game that happened to use a really popular license. They created a living, breathing world inhabited by Pokemon that kids have been dreaming about for years. And despite its short playtime and basic difficulty, this game is still an absolute joy to complete, with thousands of people to this very day still wanting a sequel. When I completed Pokemon Snap, there were 4 items used constantly. While I didn't mention the accelerated power-up much, it did make getting through the levels multiple times much faster and incredibly easy. 6 Poké Signs photographed, resulting in a trip to a rainbow cloud that showed me a Pokemon that had never been seen by human eyes before. Yes, I was sober. 7 high scores beaten, resulting in over 9,480,000 points earned total. It was not that tough to do, but it did take a few tries. 63 different Pokemon photographed, including the legendary Mew. But the hardest to find was Muck. Who would have guessed? 5 hours of total playtime, and 1 sequel that desperately needs to happen. Come on, my dudes. The photo app in Pokemon Go is not enough. We need a full sequel to Pokemon Snap. It's time. It's time. Pokemon Snap is a delightful game. Each level is vibrant, and getting to see Pokemon in their natural environments feels just as magical as the first time I played this game as a kid. It's quick, easy to learn, fun to master, and it genuinely makes you feel like you are with the Pokemon on screen. This is a perfect game to start off anyone's completionist journey. So, with that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of complete it.
Complete it!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like below if you like what you saw. And hey, here's some more completionist goodness on screen right now. Thanks for watching.